Hi, are you also an artist just like me? Like many of you, I never studied art, nor am I a professional. In fact, here's a drawing I did a while ago. Wait, too far back. Looking at this, I'm like, I need to get good. I have to
Just try harder. Just look harder, okay?
To progress my artwork, I decided to draw every day during August. And as a matter of fact, you may even want to grow your social media with the 30 days challenge, so stick around to the end to find out how that goes for me. If you're new here, I'm Toby, the co-owner of this channel. I've been drawing since I'm small like many of you and hope to become a freelance artist.
I aspire to be homeless.
The plan is simple. We'll draw, we'll get feedback, and we'll improve. And like Ali Abdal mentions, someday is today, so let's get started. I've always avoided bold shading in my physical work. Once you put that black in, it's not going away.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Spilled.
So on day 1, we got an undo button. For digital art, we have no risk and can do whatever we want. So we twisted the guy's head off and squished the girl's head. Trust me, it's intentional. Unlike Tifa's chest, we can also have smoother shadows, especially for body curves. So on day 2, we threw some flat color scene, reminded me of how awful my current skills are. But black and white drawing has always been around. Look at every single manga. We use some reference to put shadows into the dynamic poses, but it still feels off, like very off for me. To make me understand anatomy much better, I traced.
No! God, please, no! No!
Well, not exactly tracing, but drawing the anatomy of the character on it. It really helps with understanding anatomy. Make sure to try it in your free time. And we continue doing that for day 5, but the anatomy is just the backbone of the form. We needed the flesh. We did not stop at the shape and also did some custom background for them. Looking great, right? But where's the shadow? Bombarded by the memes, I decided to draw him in a JoJo style. This time we butchered his face in an unfamiliar style. Well, it is what it is. Getting completely wrecked, we decided to step back into a more comfortable zone. Knowing Furang is trending, we drew her according to a reference. But back to an even more comfortable zone, you know how I mentioned I illustrate for the channel? I spent the whole day drawing that and you don't really need to watch that right now, but you can certainly slam that subscribe button down there. But comfort comes at a price. I'm soon pushed way off my comfort zone. I have no choice but to return to our good old pen and paper for a few days, studying hands and drew a piece referencing a random Pinterest drawing, and another day of video illustrating. Sorry! On the next day, being very happy with the skateboarding sketch, I decided to make it a full illustration. So I spent the day redrawing the line work and adding in the colors, and it's by far one of my favorites. Let's just take a step back to review our first 13 days. We saw a clear improvement to our drawing when we have a reference to follow. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, even tracing is a good starting point comparing to not drawing at all. If you're also a small artist or hoping to start, go press the subscribe button down below to journey through this together. You're not alone. And then I figured out a way to make reference work even better. Knowing how we wrecked his face, we have to get good at faces, or at least competent. After your typical reference a drawing, we implemented the magic method, the red lines. It's not hard to grasp the idea. I traced the original for comparison and wrote down some comments for myself. I followed the method with Ulalaka the next day. She popped up on my Pinterest feed. So yeah. But these 2 days also uncovered a really serious problem. AI art, they're terrible reference that looks incredibly good. Halfway into the challenge, my social media only grew a tiny bit. So as a freebie lover, I started this ongoing art giveaway. If you follow these 3 steps, you can get your own custom profile picture drawn. It's also the reason why our next 2.5 days are profile pictures for our followers. It gave me back some more creative freedom, but I definitely sense a decline in how much I learned from the session. That's why we also drew something else during those days. You really thought I would just rest after those drawings? I put Ray out in the rain, noticing I could also give Cyberpunk a try. During one of the profile pictures, I wondered what we could draw next. Then I took a closer look. Huh?
私の名はアクア。日本において若くして死んだ人間を導く女神よ。
Yes, we drew the stupid goddess from この素晴らしい世界に幸福を also known as
このスバ
That speed paint did amazingly well on our shots, but even more shockingly, the speed paint is not finished. For the next day, we finished the colors and renderings for the drawing, and I just noticed I forgot to say the boots in. Well, never mind, too late. Following his success, I want to draw a bit more of the anime, but getting to know a character's design is hard. You need to know their clothing, their features, their personality. That's why we studied Megumin for a bit, preparing for her full illustration. But before doing that, we also got a video to finish. So we spent a day or two drawing us enjoying the British drinking culture. Then we got back on track, spending 2 days on a drawing and it's performing well on Reddit. Yes, Reddit. I opened one and it's definitely easier to get views on it because they have a dedicated fanbase and audience. Although continuing to collect the Infinity Stone sounds great, we aren't necessarily challenging ourselves with it. You know how I mentioned Cyberpunk? That bold color and aesthetic is really attractive, so I wanted to try it too.
Oh, David, my man, what's going on? Everything good?
We tried drawing Rebecca because she got that blue colored skin, perfect for me to try out crazy colors, except for the reference does it way more crazily. So we tried again. This time we separated the line art and coloring, so we get to practice our coloring much better, like much better.
David, you're fucking adorable.
At first I'm planning to practice with forms and perspective and Rebecca's gun. Guys, wait, don't call the FBI.
FBI, open up!
A short tangent from Cyberpunk, we got a new entry. Yes, you're not hallucinating, it's furry art. But we did promise to draw it, so we drew it. But as usual, we also did something else. We did Crony a celebratory drawing because she's going to reach 1 million soon. And can I call myself a senpai? But things never go smoothly. Brie and I are moving to Scotland for the year, so we have no choice but to skip a day. Which brings us to our second last day, starting the full illustration for Rebecca. After all, we did so many studies and are more than ready to draw this piece. On the last day, we managed to finish off the drawing and guess what? It's so much better than day one, although considerably taking much longer. So let's get a fair comparison. The piece I did before our challenge and the piece I did after the challenge. Now let's take a really big step back and see everything. It is true we did improve on our quality a lot, especially because we are doing focus study instead of the fully creative process I do without reference. But you have to keep in mind the time we spent on drawing drastically increased from 30 minutes on our first day to spending 2 days on our bigger pieces. A lot more days of study in the character. And for what many of you are waiting, how did my social media perform? For Instagram and Twitter, we really didn't get as much as we expected, but we also got some good news too. For Reddit, we got a ton of karma, which are like likes. For the longest time, our videos are also performing on the 20s, so I literally cried when I saw our speed paint hit 500. All the links can be found below, so go leave a follow for them. You can help the stats change. To explain why this happened, I'm currently looking into some social media strategies, so make sure to turn on the notification next to the subscribe button, so I can tell you straight away after finding out why. And if you know what I did wrong, tell me down in the comments. But if you art lover don't have the patience to wait for that video, feel free to click here on me drawing out my experience with the British drinking culture right here.